Hello everyone and welcome to Crafting with Monstrosities. Today I will be making another book and I will be going ahead and showing off the list right now. First off, you'll need one sheet of scrapbook paper for the inside, 2 sheets of scrapbook paper for outside, wax thread, recycled cardboard, a tool to cut with, pencil or a pen to mark your lines, a glue stick, a large needle or anything pointy to make a puncture for the thread, making sure it's a little bit bigger, and paper color of your choice. That being said, let's go ahead and cut out the covers and the inlay. So this is them cut out. What you do is you cut them to the size that you need and also cut the corners so it's easier to fold. The outside, and this is the inside, and you can see where my book size will fit. And here are the 2 pieces that go on the inside. Now we slather this bad boy with a generous amount of this glue stick here, and then put the inlay on the inside, and then do that twice. Now I have the cover scrapbook paper. Slather the inside with glue. Do not get the folds yet. Flip your cardboard over and then press it down firmly. Once you do, push it to the side and do the same thing to the second half, allowing it to dry. Once you have all of it that's been dried, now it's time to use the folds. I like to glue the actual book part first and then the flaps because I find that they adhere better than just doing one side, which takes forever for it to dry for some reason. Now you do that for both covers, and presto mundo, you have nice, sharp, clean edges. Alright, now it's time to get your pencil and mark where you want your holes to be poked into your paper. This is the spine of the book, obviously. I like to do 4. You can do more if you want. It'll just take longer for you to complete your book. Now, use those lines and put little circles where you need to poke holes into the cardboard. Get a pointy tool of some kind. In my case, I'm just using a pointed sculpting tool and just drill it in there until you poke through the other side. Also, do not pre-poke holes in your front cover. This is the bottom cover. If you do poke holes in your front cover, you might regret it, as stitching does become uneven. So I did that with my first book. It ended up not lining up like I had hoped. Now we take our pin needle, open up your folded piece of paper, and stab down the spine. Keep in mind, I'm doing single sheets instead of full signature. If you're doing signatures, stab the sheets of paper together. Now onward to the sewing. You sew into the paper, making sure the knot is on the inside. You go down into the book, wrap it around, and back into the hole, the same hole, and pull all the way through. Pretty simple. Go to the next hole, do the same thing. Pull it through, down into the hole, wrap it around and back through the same hole. Food break. Aww. It's an everything bagel with scrambled eggs and cheese on top with butter. Alright, I went ahead and kind of skipped along. As you can tell, I have gotten quite a bit of progress. So, the sewing part, I have a tutorial on. It's kind of hard to describe, but I have tried my best. But for those who aren't interested in trying to look up that tutorial for whatever reason, I'll try to describe it here. Once you get to your second page after placing down the main base, you have to sew things a little bit differently. So I zoomed up here. So you stab in, pull your thread all the way through, of course. Now I wrap the needle underneath the last sheet's needlework. As you can kind of see right here, you pull it taut and then you wrap it back through the same hole. And I first started doing this new stitch as soon as I put my second sheet on. So I poke through the hole, wrap it around. See, you use the next sheet down. You can kind of see it right here. You wrap it underneath its stitch work, just like this. Pull it through and then back through the hole again. I hope that makes sense. If not, you can check my tutorial. I don't know if I describe it any more better than that. But here at the end of the pages on each side, I like to tie a knot and then push it back through so I can put my next page on. At the other end, I will also do the same thing. Tie a knot, push it back through, and put my next page on. Because you're just kind of going back and forth until you get all of your pages on. So this is my final stretch. I only have a few more pages to put on. It looks like in the background I actually only have one left. But hopefully you can kind of see the process even though it's going really fast. Alright, so I have grabbed my final page, I put my needle through, and now I'm marking the holes where I need to pierce it for the top. That way everything's all lined up and pretty. But just so you know, the final page, the way I do it is really floppy until of course you start needleworking it and hooping it, just like how you've been doing it for the past couple hours to get like the rest of these papers up. I'm going through, but because I didn't like how loose it was, I just went ahead and went to the second one, and then I just went back towards the first and then looped it through. That's not normally how I do it, but sometimes that's what I do, while still also trying to get that final page in. So you have to also work in your cover as well as that final page because they're all both separated. But hopefully the process sort of makes sense, even though if it doesn't, again, I do have a tutorial. I can't promise that it's any better because my camera placements always show my hands like that, but I do try to show the process. But again, I am not a professional bookbinder, but if I can do it and make a book that kind of lays flat, you can too. And you can make them whatever you want instead of having to buy a pre-made book if you don't want, but it is easier. But this book I believe took me about, I'd love to say an hour, maybe close to 2. I think it's more like an hour, but it's really pretty with the little butterflies, and yeah, it's definitely fun to make your own books if you have the chance to do it. So this is me finishing it up. I'm just tying off my final knot. And onward to some little bit of decorations. I just do a little stamp, which is scrapbooking paper, but you can put like little rhinestones or lace or stickers or whatever you want. That's the fun part about making your own book. This is me flipping through the pages, showing that it lays flat. I'm just doing some final touches. You don't have to do this part, but I do like a little sleeve that I can put things in, but some people don't, so you don't have to do this part. But basically all I'm making is like a little envelope thing, folding the little edges so it looks a little neater, a little thicker, and then just sticking it on. And I also like to making sure that it matches, so it kind of disappears a little bit as well, so it's not as obvious. Here I just like to make myself a little handmade kind of card, I guess, just showing that it's made out of recycled paper and that it's handmade. Bring out the tacky glue. The tacky glue I just like to add on for extra security, even though it really doesn't need it. I just smear it on the threads, kind of rub it back and forth with my finger, and then let it dry, and then the book is officially done. But you don't have to do that if you don't want to. But this is the end of the video. If you liked it, don't forget to like. If you disliked it, don't forget to dislike. Don't forget to leave a comment, to hit that bell icon, subscribe, and all that stuff. Until then, this is Monstrositeez saying bye-bye!